get to class. So thank you very much for joining. My name is Kali. I'm going to drive us this class today. We will be working on a very important topic. I consider it very important for the simple fact that this topic is at the heart of whether your business is going to actually thrive or not. Now, there's a major issue around managing law firms and managing any professional service for that matter. A lot of people will always think that professional services are not businesses. A lot of people will think that professional services are not businesses. So as far as they're concerned, it is all about making sure that you have your client satisfied and you play according to the ethics of the profession. It's the same with accountants, the same with building engineers, the same with lawyers, the same with medical doctors and all those. And statistics has shown that a lot of these people turn out to be poor in relation to their capacity, in relation to who they are, in relation to what they can become. That they are poor in relation to that because they don't understand how to manage businesses. And that is what this training is all about. It's all about future-proofing your legal practice, ability to understand how to build firms that last, sustainable law firms, not just legal practice. Now, one of the major questions I ask every time I talk with professionals is that if you have a reason to be outside your organization for maybe, let's say, 3 months, how will your organization fare? How will the workforce fare? How will the acquisition of clients, how will it fare? If you are sick, God forbid, how will those fare? They are the very important questions you must ask. And that is what we talk about, future-proofing your legal practice. Yeah. If you have any question, please, you can drop it at the Q&A section. So I'll, from time to time, look at it to actually know your questions, and then I can answer them. Now, we want to concentrate on building sustainable law business from your law practice. A lot of us are very good with what we do, very, very good with what we do. But you see, when it comes to making money with what we do, we are not very, very good at that. Why? Simply because, business sense is a different kind of sense. Business sense is a different kind of sense. Business sense is different from just being a professional. And with due respect, I'm in the academia. In fact, I resigned 2 years to full professorship 2019. Now, the point becomes that if I was to continue to the height of my careers, I will still earn salaries. And these salaries are not even able to fuel your car for 1 month. But you see, inside the 4 walls of the university, you have professors of financial management who are managing just their salaries. You have professors of philosophy, professors of law, professors of engineering who are paid that much. Now, what a lot of them lack, and that's why a lot of them are not as rich as they should be, is that they lack how to take their knowledge to the marketplace. Tell me, as a lawyer, how do you acquire your clients? And remember, the code of conduct says you shouldn't advertise. So how do you acquire your client? Those are questions you must sit down to ask yourself and answer. Those questions that are very important, that you must answer them. You must look at those questions and say, okay, yeah, this is how I acquire. And then you systemize how you do that. Okay. Now, when we talk about customer acquisition, we don't mean advertising. When we talk about customer acquisition, we mean marketing. And we're going to explain those as we go ahead. Marketing is not the same as going door to door to knock at people's houses or offices and tell them, I'm better than my neighbor, come and take me. Marketing is everything you do to position your products, your services, your platforms at the place where those who need and want them and who are willing and able will see them and know that you are the best plug for those services, platforms, and those products. And you will be the go-to person anytime they have need for that. That is what we call marketing. Now, there are lots of terms that are in the definition I gave you. One of them is positioning. Another one is product, services, and platform. Another one is willing and able. Another one is need and want. Another one is go to person. Another one, and blah, blah, blah. Now, if we want to unpack that definition alone, we could stay here for the next 300 years. But because of our time, let's just try to unpack them as we go ahead. But remember, according to Alvin Toffler, the illiterate of the 21st century will not be those who cannot read and write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. Now, they've taught you in the universities, they taught you in the law school. And then, since you came out, how many business schools have you gone to? You are in business. How many courses have you taken? Not just in law. And that's one of the mistakes we do. If a mechanic, automotive engineer, keeps developing himself in automotive engineering and then he keeps having one customer or one client, yeah, it is a very big disservice to himself, very discouraging to his trade, and over time he will either cut corner or be unscrupulous, or he wants to just do what others do. Maybe start bringing in a lot of other extraneous practices or businesses into what he's doing. Now, though nobody says you can do different businesses. I have 10 companies. But the point is, all the companies I have are fed by the major thing I love doing. I love training. I love teaching. I love developing people. I'm the president of a business school. So every other thing I have, Buy Values Digital Communications and Advertising Limited, they are fed from generally my work as a teacher and as a business teacher. Or Dexter Rosie Agritech, they are fed by the work we do for Central Bank and do for government, Ministry of Agriculture, and all those. Because of that, we found out that we needed to have an agri-tech company that also catered for farmers. So online life executive programs, seminars and conferences, assets, whatever company I have, they are all function of this main company. Even Agog Shelters and Properties Limited, they were offshoot of the fact that I have access to people, I have access to high net worth individuals, and I see what they buy. And since I'm already working for training those who are in real estate and those who are some of my mentees are working in lands and working in development control and working in those. So how do I leverage those possible adjacents? So I didn't go into agri-tech because I just needed to establish an agri-tech company. No, it was fed by the major company, the major thing I do. Now, I'm not saying going into another thing altogether is bad, but it's so that you don't get distracted, and then most times you don't get, overworked, and then you just get tired, and then you get burnout. Because even in making this money, we must be alive to eat it, and we must prioritize our health. Somebody was telling me just a few minutes ago, one of our friends, the husband died, and the man is having, he used to have diabetes, and just last few weeks, he had a spike, and then went into coma and couldn't come out and died. So you must please prioritize your health, even as we go ahead, making this money. But that's not our discussion. Our major discussion today is ability to understand when we say marketing, when we say customer acquisition, when we say willing and able, when we say positioning. Your ability to understand all those are very important. But let's move ahead. So the illiterate of the 21st century is not the person who cannot read and write, but that's the person who cannot unlearn, learn and relearn. In other words, whatever they taught you before now, the world is changing. I am an IT expert, so I can stay in my room and generate 1,000,000 leads in just few days, and spending the least, or maybe 200,000, I could generate 1,000,000 leads to see my advert and click on my website and probably give me their email so that I'm able to message them when I want. Now, the point becomes that a lot of people will go around, moving around, trying to find these people physically. The world has so changed that it's not working that way again. That is why business and tech must be introduced into the legal practice. Otherwise, you will just suffer and suffer and suffer for nothing. Yes, and then the result is not as much. Now, if you've got that, let's talk about something that is very important. That thing is that you must distinguish law business from law practice. You must distinguish law business from law practice. Now, simply put, law practice is the brilliance of a lawyer. Law business is the ability of that lawyer to make money. So I'm going to repeat. Law practice panders to the brilliance of a lawyer, and law business panders to the systems the lawyer creates in order to be able to make money. There are two different things. You can be very brilliant and you never make money. Go to our universities, you're going to see that. I'm a university academic. You will see that. So the point is ability to transmogrify the knowledge you have in law into making money is a science hidden in entrepreneurship. Now, entrepreneurship is not about just doing business. Entrepreneurship is business running on systems. I want you to get that into your head. Entrepreneurship is what? Business running on systems. And system, SYSTEM, is anything you put in place to S, save, Y, yourself, S, stress, T, time, E, energy, and money. So anything you put in place to save yourself, stress, time, energy, and money is what we call system. So if you put in place a funnel that brings in customers from time to time, customers every single time without you running around looking for them. That is what we call system. And that system, eh, sorry there. Okay, so now your ability to put in a system is what makes your law practice powerful. Your ability to bring in a system is what makes your law practice powerful. Anything that you do that brings in the customers from time to time, brings in the clients from time to time, the billing method, you don't struggle with that. You can actually leave that business, go out, and then it doesn't affect that business. That is what we call system. And in order to understand systems, you must understand algorithms. Algorithms are things you already know very well, but we're going to talk about it, in a jiffy. Now, in, in understanding algorithm, you must understand the purpose of the business you are doing. Law is a business. Law is not a practice. Now, I repeat, law is a business. Law is not a practice. In other words, you see, you can hire the best lawyers for your chamber if you can pay well, and they can run it for you. They can run it better than you can. I mean, in terms of going to court and all those. Okay. But you see, if you don't know how to get the business in, or you cut corners to get the business in, you are no more doing the right thing. Yes, you need to look back on your deathbed and then say, I lived a life of integrity and I'm proud of the kind of life I've lived. But that's not our discussion. Our discussion is about ability to know that the purpose of business is sustainable profitability and profitable sustainability. What that means is that you want to have a system, rather a business that is profitable at a sustainable level. And then that sustainability is also profitable. And that profitability is also sustainable. Now, it sounds tautologous, but it's not. If you understand building system, you understand that there are some profits or profitability that is not sustainable. Because you see, either you make so much money at once and it doesn't come again, or you are making money, but what you are spending in making the money is more than the money you are making. So the profits or profitability has to be sustainable, and the sustainability has to be profitable. And that's what system does. Your ability to now know how to repurpose, how to understand LTV, that is lifetime value of your customers, is at the heart of profitable sustainability and sustainable profitability. In other words, if one customer walks into your organization, how much is that customer worth over the next 1-2 years? How are you going to treat that customer so that the customer can refer you to other people? How are you going to solve his or her problem empathetically, not without collecting your money, collecting your full money even more, but making the person understand that this is a relationship of love? And I tell you, business in the 21st century is a relationship of love. It's a relationship of empathy. It's a relationship where you are going to understand your client and be in his or her shoes. That it doesn't stop you from collecting your full money, but it makes you human and makes you sincere. That way, a relationship is built where if the person came for tenancy issue, now as you guys are winding off on that, or even on that, you find out that he has, or through your discussion, you find out that he has a lingering land problem. Somebody swindled him of 100 million naira or 200 million or whatever. And then the case has been there for like 3 years and all those. Now, the point is, you need to also help and intervene. And if you are handling the tenancy issue, okay, the person will be willing to pay more because he's seeing light at the end of the tunnel on this one. And then you ask him, your papers, your company, your annual returns, your this one, that one. They will say, I don't even those things, or I don't, you help with that. Then you ask him about blah blah blah, you help with that. And you're not helping for free. The person is paying you. That's what we call customer optimization. Ability to now understand that this one customer that walked in, apart from the problem he has walking in, he has other problems I can solve. And if I don't solve them, either they kill him or they remove his resources, or he goes to another person who is even not as good as myself, and the person will solve the problem for him. So understanding your customers' lifetime value will make you to understand customer optimization and upselling, knowing all the other things you can do for this customer. That way, that one customer that walked in and paid you 1 million. Now you solve another problem. He pays you another 1 million or two. You solve another, he pays you about 3 million. You solve another. So in 1 year, you say this customer from one person, you are making 6, 7, 10 million, 20 million. And if you have 10 of or 20 of those every year, you see, you can already know that from your existing customers, you are able to do your thing. So that is what we mean by sustainable profitability and profitable sustainability. Understanding how to make the profit sustainable, how to make the sustainability profitable. Otherwise, you spend 10 million, get one client, the client pays you 2 million, and then walks away because either you didn't treat him well or her well, or things didn't work out the way he or she thought. And you see, customers in the 21st century, because they have too many options. As I'm doing this seminar, there are probably 10, 20 other seminars going on, even for lawyers, and 100 others going on a lot of them free too, on branding, on business systems, on anything. So that's why you must understand you are not the only option. So somebody sticking with you will be a combination of character, rather what we call ASK, your attitude, your skills, and your knowledge. ASK, don't forget your attitude, your skill, and your knowledge. These are all going to be some of the reasons somebody will stick with you. Okay. So if you've got that, the point becomes that you need to ask that question: is my business profitable? Is my business sustainable? Is the profit sustainable? Is the sustainability profitable? These are questions you must ask and answer. Then you answer: if I leave my organization for 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, will that organization still exist? That's why I look at the biggest name in law, in the last maybe 20 years, even when you were in law school, even when you were a student. Yeah, some of those biggest names and biggest chambers, they are not existing today. Why? Their owners died or are aged, and then nothing is happening there because there were no systems in place. Let it not be your portion. Now, let's talk about understanding algorithms and building systems. In order to actually walk around building systems, you must understand the power of algorithms. You must understand the power of algorithms. Not just understanding the power of algorithms, you must also understand how to use algorithms. So 3 things you must know about algorithms. Number 1 is that you must know how to recognize algorithms. Check good law, good law businesses, good chambers that are thriving. Check what they are doing. Recognize, look through and recognize the algorithms that they are using to actually perform the magic they are performing in their law business. Check. Yeah. Check it very well. And then you are able to see the patterns. Now, algorithms, I'm going to explain, is a model process for solving a problem. I'm going to show you some of the characteristics of algorithms and all those. But let's talk about the fact that you need to recognize algorithms. You need to know how to use algorithms, and then you need to know how to create your own algorithms. I'm going to talk about failure algorithm in a jiffy, but let me explain algorithm a little more so that we are able to, have a grasp on it, and we can discuss it from the level of unconscious competence. Now, I always talk about something, about how to understand your learning. I said there are 4, even 5 levels of learning. Number 1 is unconscious incompetence. Unconscious incompetence is when you don't know and you don't know that you don't know. That's unconscious incompetence. You don't know and you don't even know that you don't know. For a lot of us, law is a business. Yeah, but it's a practice on it. Another, yeah, but you see, a business will beat a practice any day. Because a businessman, okay, a very simple example. How many of you think that Dangote knows how to refine fuel? How many of you think that Dangote knows how to um, make cement? He can just enter the factory and produce cement himself. How many of you think that Dangote knows how to do pasta, to do to produce salt, to produce the oil, the gasoline, the jet one fuel, how many of you think he does? Because he understands building a business, so he can succeed in any. If he has a law chamber today, he'll be still successful, because how you do one thing is how you do all things. But that's not our discussion. The discussion is in unconscious incompetence. You don't know, and you don't know that you don't know. Then if you're not careful, you argue. Just argue and argue and argue. Argument doesn't give you money. What gives you money is getting results. No matter how good you argue in court, if you don't win the case, you didn't get the result. Yeah. Okay, but that's not our discussion. Our discussion is around unconscious incompetence. If you understand unconscious incompetence, you will always open up your mind and check out what are the things I don't know, and I don't know that I don't know them. One of them is business. A lot of us don't know business, but we don't think we don't know business. We think we know how to charge. We think we a customer walking. And if you ask some people, say, by the grace of God, God is the person who markets for me. One of my staff, she went to repair her car a few days ago. She was telling me the story, and she met someone, and the guy seemed to be good in what he's doing, and she was asking the guy, how do you market? The guy says, I don't market, so only God the market for me. Yeah, my staff said, this is an insult on God. God is marketing for you, and you are looking this way you are looking. It is wrong. If God is marketing for you, you will be very rich. That God doesn't come to market for people. He has given you brain, has put business schools around for you to go and learn how to market. He has made you to have sense so that you can build relationship with your customers so that they can refer people to you. So you people shouldn't be bringing God into things that God has given you power to do. When you want to go and eat, when you want to sleep with your your wife, do you ask God, come and help me? You don't do that. You just go ahead and do that. So why is it that when it comes to something that requires you to be responsible, you are calling God into that? So I told my staff that was savage. Okay, but the discussion is around a lot of people. Hopefully, people can walk into the chambers. Hopefully, no, you must have an algorithm to make sure that people walk into the chambers. There's a course in our organization we call Marketing Without Marketing, how to build a thriving law business from law practice. But that's another discussion. Now, the point I wanted to make is that understanding algorithms helps you to know that you're bringing people into the organization, how you treat them, the customer service, how you handle their cases, your billing system, how you make them pay you so that they don't owe you, how you get them into some other things like upselling them or partnering with them. They are all functions of algorithms. And anywhere you go to and you watch the lawyer, the business, or you watch the system, you can always copy. Now, in school, as a university academic, I used to hate somebody copying or doing expo. It makes me angry. When you do that, I'm most likely going to fail you no matter what you write because you are cheating. But you see, schooling is different from education, and schooling is different from outside schooling. The point is that in the real world, you must copy. In the real world, you must copy, but you must do what I call CMD: copy, modify, and deploy. CMD: copy, modify, and deploy. Copy, modify, and deploy. Now, look at anybody doing better than you. Go to his or her website, go and see what he or she is doing, read cases, find out things about him or her, and then you do what you can copy that, modify it, and deploy it. It's not patented. Nobody patents, those kind of things. Okay. Having said that, they all boil down to what? Systems and algorithms. So let's talk about systems and algorithms now. Algorithm is a model process for solving a problem. An algorithm is a model process for solving a problem. In other words, in life, as in anything, any formula that you can RDL, you can repeat, you can duplicate, you can leverage, that becomes what? An algorithm. As far as it's repeatable, it's duplicable, and leverageable, it becomes an algorithm. So that's why you must understand what are the sets of instructions for solving a problem, accomplishing a task in any area you are interested in automating, in algorithmizing. You must find sets of rules that are important in trying to do that. And then you algorithmize them and they become a system that you can repeat anytime you want to. So your algorithm has quite some, let's say, counteracting possibilities. Every day you are faced with probability, and you keep asking yourself, how do you algorithmize these probabilities? Many years ago, I think Pfizer wanted to produce a drug. I think in the late 80s, they wanted to produce a drug for hearts. I think about 4 heart conditions. When they started testing it, and they found out that, the specimens for the testing, we are all getting erection instead of the heart thing they wanted. So at the end of the day, that probability that came in, because they had an algorithm, they had the hand on what they were doing, then I said, wow, this is a fallout, but it's a nice fallout. People at that time in the Western country started having serious issues with libido and all those. So they repurposed that drug and they called it Viagra. And that drug became a pharmaceutical marketing wonder. In other words, at the time, it was having close to 80-90% of the market share in that particular market, in the libido enhancement market. Now, very important to note that if you have a pattern, there will always be time randomness comes in. When randomness comes in, for instance, you saw what happened. I was having a training at Radisson Blue in Victoria Island on the 29th of May 2023. So that was the day I was finishing the training for my clients. And so I wanted to go back to Ikeja, mainland, so that I'm able to not miss my flight the next morning. So when my driver came, because we had picked fuel 2 or 3 days before, when he came and I wanted to pick fuel for the car, and because I was just coming out of class and I saw which what do you call it, huge line in the fleet station, and they said the president said subsidy is gone, and the thing moved from I think 100 and something there or so to about 500 and something there. So the tank we filled with about 15,000. We are using about 40 something thousand to fill the tank, and in few weeks time it went to 50 something, few weeks time it went to 60, few weeks time it went to 70 something thousand. These are the randomness and the probabilities that can come in. So that's why your business must have that nimbleness, must have that capacity to go through this shock and not wither. And that's what you do with your system. That's why you see a lot of skyscrapers. If you look at them very well with binoculars, you see that they appear to be shaking. They are doing that to absorb the impact of the wind and the elements on them. So that was what the producers of Viagra did. Immediately they saw that the probability has set in, they used the algorithmization they had, and they moved that probability into algorithmized probability, and everything became nice, and then it turned out to be powerful. The same with pattern. Sometimes randomness throws itself in. Now it can become patternized randomness because you were not working sheepishly, you were not working blindly. Now, a very simple example, the algorithm for making a cup of tea, because when we say algorithm, it sounds like, okay, it's a big term. No. Yeah, if we say algorithm for making a cup of tea, for instance, put the tea bag in a cup, fill the kettle with water, boil the water in the kettle, pour some boiled water into the cup, add milk to the cup, that's if you use milk, add sugar to the cup if you use sugar, stir the tea, and then drink. Now, this is not the only way to making a cup of tea, but this is a very standard algorithm for making a cup of tea. You can find other ways, yeah. Now, but you see, most times, look at how this, if I take number 7 now and put at number 2, and take number 2 and put at number 7, I will scatter the algorithm. That's sometimes how we run our businesses. Our businesses are not algorithmized. Everything is, intuitive. There are no proper mechanisms and systems. Everything is just as they hot, they come, they do them with the, and all those. You pursue this one, you pursue this one. Who are you acquiring this year? Are you acquiring those in the maritime business, cabotage? Are you acquiring those in NGOs? Are you acquiring individuals? Are you acquiring high net worth individuals? Are you acquiring those in the banking sector? Are you acquiring, just MSMEs? Are you acquiring? Yeah, you must know what you are doing per time. So your energy can go to where your focus goes. Remember, we say what? Wherever focus goes, wherever focus goes, energy flows. And you don't have unlimited energy. So you must be sure where your energy is going per time. Sometimes you may need to have a very long, when I say very long, I don't mean 100 years. You may have like maybe 2 years, 3 years to concentrate on one customer segment to be able to make impact. They say a rolling stone gathers no moss. Yeah, a rolling stone, yes, gathers no moss, gathers no dust because it's rolling. Now the point becomes that if you are just this, that, this, that, and it is not organized like in your organization. When we come to offer, you will understand what I'm saying. In your organization, there should be brand manager for each of the areas you guys are interested in. Why is it important? It's important for PMS, performance management system. If you don't have brand managers, you won't be able. When I say brand managers, I mean something like, I'm using business terms now, something like somebody in charge of a particular aspect of law, maybe like say alternative dispute resolution things, somebody in charge of people who are your customers from the maritime, somebody in charge of people who are your clients from the banking sector, somebody from who is in charge of regulatory documents, those who want licenses from government agencies, NUPRC, and NMDPRA also, somebody who wants license from the central bank, who want to register a company, who want some kind of visibility studies to be done for them, and so want some level of legal infusion into that, and all those. So somebody in trade, this helps you to, this person is handling this, and the person is developing the business strategies around how to acquire those customers. Those business strategies could include webinars. Why am I doing this webinar? We are one of the institutions for the MBA ICLE CPD program. Now, yeah, we need to have a way of making the lawyers know we are here. We need to have a way of, putting ourselves out there. And one of the ways to do that will be to offer something valuable that somebody will not say, I've wasted my time. And that's why I, as the chairman of the company, I am here to do it myself. I don't want, to, disappoint our clients. I want to be sure that they are happy because we are just, starting with this. So we don't want to put the wrong foot out there. But you see, for every of them, they are recorded. For every of them, they are algorithmized. For instance, the next time I may want to do this, I may make it on demand. In other words, the way you saw it online, you click, you register, and you play. You play it there immediately. So there's no need for me to repeat this again. I've done about on the 6th, about a few weeks ago, and then I'm doing this one. Could be the last for this. So every other thing will be on demand. That is why algorithm is very important. Algorithms are important for systemization. So that's why you need to have, different brands, inside your firm, and different people handling those brands. When you are doing for those who are into entertainment, your clients from the entertainment industry, copyright issues, contract issues, litigations around bridges and all those kinds of things. Let there be an entertainment department inside or unit inside your law firm, entertainment law, those who are taking care of that. So it becomes easier for you to handle. Those are the people who are crafting the marketing strategy. I'm not talking about advertising now. The marketing strategy. How do you reach out to those people who need that? So you could offer, a training, free training for your prospective clients. So young artists coming up, established artists, you have a training every 6 months or 3 months on, understanding law or understanding entertainment law in Nigeria, Europe, Americas, and other jurisdictions. You spend 2 hours free teaching them how to understand this. And at the end of the day, they will know that you said, well, if you feel there's something we can help you do in our chambers, please call this number and we'll be so willing to help you. And that is what we call love. Yeah. And they will not say, okay, I am entering into this contract. I need my lawyer by my side, or somebody has breached my route. Somebody used my song. Somebody used a line in my song. Somebody used my artistic production and they never paid me. Somebody had breached the contract here, and they come back to you. Yeah. So that is why the person who is trying to acquire MSMEs, the person who is trying, so legal issues in business. It could be legal issue in business could be, a free seminar you do for them. And all MSMEs will just tune in. This man, I want to teach us how not to fall into trouble in our businesses. And at the end of the day, you said, if you know we can solve any problem for you, yes, please kindly do what? Let us know. And you see, they will all come to you when they need to, yes, talk to you about that. Okay, I'm going to find out whether you are still with me. So I want you to describe in one sentence your experience so far. So use the either Q and A. Use the Q and A and just write, a word that describes your experience so far. Like, okay, you can say nice, you can say fluff, you can say I don't like it, whatever it is you want to say. Just use the word to describe your experience so far so that I can continue. Okay, I want to be sure that you are still with me. Use a word to describe your experience so far. Yeah, I'm waiting. Oh, thank you, Ure. Thank you, Linda. Thank you, Yaldami. Thank you. Amazing. Okay, let me say amazing. Thank you very much, sir. Entertained. Thank you, Ify. Insightful. Thank you, Faith. Very insightful. Thank you, Temi. Insightful and informative. Thank you, Ivy. Thank you so much. Quite enlightening. Thank you. Okay. Thank you, sir. Kenna said, great. Interesting lecture. Chukwemeka. Thank you, sir. Other one said, the lecture is nice and active. Thank you, sir. Anita said, interesting. Anita, thank you very much. Siraj, thank you. Said, I can't find any account to input my name. How do I do it, please? I just went, oh, sorry about that. Please, somebody in the call, please help him to find what he's looking for. I think my assistant, please try and help. Is it Geofloss, I think? Yes, try and help him to find what he's looking for. Great session. Look forward to another. Thank you very much. We are not through yet. Just wanted to take your feelings. Opening great. Yes, thank you, Oluwa. Daniel, thank you. Oluwa Tosin, thank you. Oluwa Sean, thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Charles Ebuka, thank you, Abbas. And Patful Philip, thank you very much. The lecture is enlightening one. Thank you, sir. Okay, so let's get back to class. Thank you. Just wanted to be sure that we are still on the same page. Okay, so now, let's look at when you have used this algorithm, you are going to see that it's flowing. So I was talking about being able to use algorithm, every of the different kinds of law. Now, don't think about what they taught you in law school or in school here. I'm talking business here. So use your own categorization to do what you want. For instance, entertainment law. Okay, you say entertainment law. You say something like maritime units, maritime law units, you say ADR units, you say whatever it is, however you are going to make. So those people are deepening themselves. So even if they are your interns, and they will choose from amongst all the areas they want and start deepening themselves in that, while you can even move them, the interns, you move them from department to department as they're growing in the company, and to study every department, then go back and all. So yes, so for performance management issues, you are able to say that I'm just talking about algorithm, whatever works for you. There's no hard and fast rule about it. Understand this. Remember, and I give you a little story why a lot of people drop out from school. You know, in places like America and here in Nigeria too, you see a lot of kids drop out from school, and I tell you why. That's why you see a lot of them also say school is scam. You know, in the university, I taught some courses, logic, epistemology. I taught, law to some law courses to, first year law students, because that's not my department. And one of the things I discovered is that when you come into class and you ask students, today we have theory of knowledge, today we have advanced logic, today we have symbolic logic, or this semester. Now, just forget what we have. What will you want to learn? It will surprise you. A lot of them say they want to learn the psychology of betting. They want to learn the reason God introduced sin on earth, or allowed sin to be introduced on earth. They want to learn the psychology of religion. They want to learn how to make money. They want to learn how some people are poor. They want to learn why the righteous suffer. The things they used to tell me were so amazing to me. They were far removed from what I want to know, what the university want to teach them. And I keep wondering, somebody who wants to learn what they are telling me, and then you are teaching that person this other one, I wonder how that person will ever learn it. So what I did in my own classes is that I will devote some time, because I will, at the first day of the semester that I'm with them, for 1 or 2 sessions that I'll have with them, I will ask, so that those who are just returning will tell me theirs. And now I will now infuse it into what I'm teaching them. So if they say they want to learn how to make money, yes, so, but I'm supposed to teach them the theory of knowledge. So I try to make sure that maybe up to 20% or 30% of what I'm going to use as an example will be how knowledge and making money are coterminous, or why not being knowledgeable could make you not to make money, especially in the areas you are interested in making money from. So that way, I am balancing what they want to learn and what the university wanted me to teach them. In other words, whatever they taught you in school, most times out here, it doesn't work out the same way. That is why I'm telling you, you must understand, apart from being good as a lawyer, you must understand the business of law. If you don't understand it, it sounds insulting when you know how poor a lot of lawyers are. When somebody tell it to a lawyer, it might sound insulting, but that's the whole truth. Because even the judiciary has also made people not to be willing to go to court. To that extent, like you say, most time now, go to court is like a joke. Like, go to court. If I'm go to court. So it is watering down the profession more. So that's why you must distinguish yourself and then understand the business side of it, so that your system can encourage people coming to you. Otherwise, there are too many options. A lot of people are taking the option of jungle justice, or no, doing things in their own way, or even that's why you see a lot of times you see social media influencers, very dark man, the one that is holding this real estate company hostage, and you see people going to them when they have um, things that should be in courts. So that's why you have to up your game and understand the business side of it, and then also put yourself out there so that people can know there are lawyers who know their onion and who also straddle the whole gamut and spectrum of understanding the streets, the business, and understanding the academia. But that's not 100% what I'm talking about here. I'm trying to show for you to understand the algorithm for making a cup of tea. And then when you upset this algorithm, look at it, you're going to see this one is an algorithm for making a cup of tea, but it is an in upset version. Okay, so look at it. Put a tea bag in a cup, fill the kettle with water, boil the water in the kettle, drink the tea, you see. Then add milk to the cup, add sugar to the cup, stir the tea, pour some boiled water into the cup. You see, in algorithms, if you change something, yeah, you may just destroy the algorithm. So that same way, a lot of us are blindly doing things. We're not algorithmizing them. I'll tell you a story about algorithms so that you can understand the difference between, a professional, rather, yes, an expert and an amateur. An amateur can get the expert's result. The only difference is that the amateur may not consistently get the result of the expert. So the amateur will get it sometimes and will not get it sometimes. So I'll give you an example. When we are younger, when we are small, playing, and we used to catch like lizards. We can open the stomach of the lizard, and then we now cut out some things and then sew it back. So we think we are medical doctors. So we cut out, we sew it back, and then the lizard will, most times, will keep moving around. But you see, most times you boast about it. I'm a doctor, I'm a lizard doctor. I can, operate on lizard. And your friend or an elder person will go and catch one for you, elderly person, and say, do it, let me see. And that is when you will understand that there's a difference between being an expert and being an amateur. So in my own case, most time when they catch it for me, and then I open it, and then I find out that I didn't know what I really caught out the last time. They are confusing now to me. So I now will check and caught something that I thought resembled what I caught out the last time. And immediately I cut it out, and then I now sew it back. And you leave it. Immediately it walks out, it will just die. And the person would say, do you see? You just killed the lizard. You're not a doctor. And you'll be swearing truth to God. I did it on another one. When that one come, I will show you. The point is that that's the difference between an expert and what? And an amateur. An expert can RDL. He or she can repeat, duplicate, leverage every single time he or she delivers. But an amateur can do it and get it right. You say duplicate it, it doesn't know how. Say leverage it, it doesn't know how. You say repeat it, he doesn't know how. So that's the point. So now, there are properties of algorithms, but I'm going to leave this out because of our time. Algorithms have specific inputs or specified inputs. Algorithm has specified outputs. Algorithm has definiteness. Algorithm has effectiveness. Algorithm has finiteness. If you look at what I showed you there, you're going to see there are 8 steps, okay? and you're going to see the steps are they all have the sequence. There will always be measurement for the tea bag you're going to put in a cup of tea. How many tea bags for how many liters? How many degrees will you boil the water? That is what we call algorithm. So it must have the specific input, specific output, specified input, specified output. It must have definiteness, it must have effectiveness, it must have finiteness. How many people do you have in your chambers? How many customers or clients do you have every January, every February, every March, every April, every May? When is the best time you have the highest number? And from which sector do they come from? Who pays better? That's what we call Heli and Lehi. Heli is Heli. Heli. That's Heli. Lehi is Lehi. That's Lehi. Now, as you go ahead in your business, you're going to divide how you make money and who you serve. You're going to divide them into Heli and Lehi. Now, Heli is high energy, low income. High energy, low income. Those are, places you put in so much effort, but you see, you have so much later coming in. But you see, there are LEHI, you already know, low energy, high income. You put in low energy, you get high income. Now you're going to divide your time between Lehi and Heli in a percentage. In my organization at the moment, we engage in somewhere between 10 to 20% Heli, that is high energy, low income, and about 80 to 90% Lehi, low energy, high income. Why? Because let's assume the least cost in our organization is about 950,000. The least. We have courses, that goes into millions. Now, for some programs, you pay for some regulatory programs, you are constrained for them to pay a particular amount. So, but let's say, for instance, 30,000. Use 30,000 to divide 950,000. Maybe I'll just try that out right away. If you're using 30,000, so divide 900 and so 950,000 divided by 30,000. So now you will need 31 people who pay you 30,000 for you to make 950,000. You need 31 people. So I tell you, it is so difficult to sell a rickety taxi when you compare it with selling a private jet. People who are buying private jet, they already know. They already, made up your mind. They won't price you. The highest they can price is, they say, they negotiate the service level agreements and such other things. What's the point I'm making? You as a lawyer, the time you spend on lower clients, you won't even spend that much and you acquire bigger clients. I used to be like that, thinking that cheap and affordable is, a market strategy. No, it's not at all. So let your eye be on the kind of people you want, and then you go for them. But I'm coming to that. Let me not jump. So now we've already talked about algorithms. Okay. Now I will just talk a little about the failure algorithm, and then I move very fast to the law part. So now I developed an algorithm. If you want to be a failure, just use this algorithm. Number one is fearization of trying. That is number F. Fearization of trying. In other words, fear of trying. If you want to be a failure, don't try things. Just do routines. Very important to note that anything that makes you afraid when you want to try it, that is strategic. But anything you want to try and it doesn't make you afraid, it's just normal. That is what we call routine. Routines don't make you afraid. I want to sweep my room. It doesn't make me afraid. But, oh, I want to talk to the president. Ah, you shiver. I want to, big things. I want to acquire Dangote as the guys who you are working for as a lawyer. You shiver. You want to acquire Unilever, all those kinds of things. Yeah, you shiver. You just perish the thought. You want to establish branches in the 6 geopolitical zones of the country. You make you shiver. You get stressed. Anything that make you shiver is something that will make you better. I'm talking in a positive way. So fearization of trying, that's F. A is ask no question. If you don't want to succeed, if you want to be a failure, ask no question. See things happening and just, it's like same, like how it used to be, blah, blah, blah. No. These are how people who don't succeed think and behave. They ask no question. Question gives you clarity. And that's what training does for you. It gives you clarity. And is a little note on the issue of the CPD thing. A lot of lawyers see the CPD, the activation, because it has been there, the activation of the CPD rule thing. And it's just, they will just want their CPD, what do you call it, points. And that's all that matters to them. Now, learning and earning are coterminous. In fact, etymologically, they should come from the same root word. Learning and earning. The more you learn, the more you earn. Life is like cooking soup. If you use only one ingredient, you're not going to enjoy the soup. The soup will be like a drug, like a medicine. You love egusi soup, and then you put just egusi inside, and then you keep cooking egusi, you keep cooking egusi, you keep cooking egusi. It would not work. At the end of the day, you can't even eat it, just egusi alone. But if you love egusi soup, you're going to make it a soup. You're going to put seasoning, you're going to put oil, you're going to put salt, you're going to put fish, you're going to put meat, you're going to put water, you're going to put the kind of leaf you want, you're going to put, all kinds. So life is like cooking soup. So if you're just a lawyer, just a pharmacist, just a doctor, just whatever, and then that's what you think that is enough, you are making a mistake, because you need the other ingredient. You need capacity. You need understanding of behavioral economics, behavioral psychology, public speaking properly, advanced public speaking, and persuasive communication skills. Last weekend, we had the advanced public speaking. I had about 3 professors in the class who some monitored, some just came to listen in. And I think some people here, can testify who were in that class. I think my friend Angela was in that class. And you see, they thought it's just normal public speaking. But what we discussed, we are the heuristics, the software, the algorithms that make people say yes or no to anything you say. We looked at the science of public speaking, not just how to stand and how to do your voice. No. When people say yes, why do they say yes? Or why do they say yes to some people and they don't say yes? We looked at thinking fast and slow. We looked at system 1 and system 2 thinking. We looked at all the persuasive communication skill algorithms. We look at behavioral economics. So we look at behavioral psychology part of it. We look at, how people are made to say yes. We look at how to talk to anyone and get him to say yes. And all the people that attended said this is just different. That they thought it just, or in fact, some said they registered, they applied out of curiosity. They said like, wow, let's just go and say what they're gonna say. It was totally different. So the point becomes that when you don't understand that whatever you are, that's why you see professors in the university, they're not developing themselves. You are reading finance, the same thing you are reading, the same thing you are reading every day. You've never read, how do I turn my understanding of financial management as a professor into money-making venture? How do I acquire customers who are going to use, or clients who are going to use this, my service? How do I talk to people? How do I make presentation, not lectures? How do I convince people? How can I talk and convince anyone when I want and how I want? How do I join business and technology into financial management? How do I? They don't ask those questions. So if you want to be a failure, ask no questions. Then intentionalization deficits. In other words, not having intentions, not having purpose, not being an intentional person, not knowing what you want to achieve, when and how. I'm rushing because of our time. How much is my 1 hour worth, and how do I prime myself to believe it, moving it from just something I say in my mouth to something I believe in, and then developing myself to that extent where I say my 1 hour is worth 15.5 million, and I'm not laughing inside my heart and saying, who will pay that? So your ability to understand that is what we call intentionalization deficit. Inability to understand that intentionalization deficit, that's one of the ways to fail. Now, another one is lazinization of action. Procrastination, inability to do what you should do right away. Then U is urgency aversion. Anything that is urgent, you want to remove your leg and remove your hand. Very much like procrastination. You want, we'll do it. Tomorrow is still there, leave those people who are doing it. Artificial intelligence, when they finish, they will see this artificial intelligence, go far. In your life, just keep dreaming. Somebody wanted to deliver a talk on I'm not going to say the word the person sent it to me, in the cases like extra court what do you call it, witnesses, some witnesses you get outside the court presence and premises and all those. And the person said, I have this talk and I want to do this one, that one, I know this. I said, let me help her so that you can walk around it and all those. And in less than a few seconds, yeah. Why? Because, if you feed the artificial intelligence, everything needs, you find out that it will just give you, then you need to just rework and get your thing right. Nobody pays you today for information. People pay you for interpretation. Look at, I'm on this page now and I'm talking. There's nothing on this page. 3 things you must know about algorithm failure, algorithm, whatever. What is that? It's nothing. Everybody can write this thing, yeah? But you see, people pay you for interpretation, bringing in your own story, bringing in your own thinking, bringing in your own logic, algorithm, intuition, psychology, everything into that. And that's where reading is also very important. I call it themed reading. Don't just read only law. Themed reading, because you can't cook soup with only one ingredient. The same way you can't become rich in law with just understanding only law. You need to understand the business side, the psychology, the public speaking, the advanced convincing, the negotiation, the pricing. You need to understand all those billing systems. You need to understand IT and all those. Yeah, you need to understand all of that. So urgency aversion. R stands for routinization of life. A lot of people, what they did yesterday is what they're going to still do today, what they will do tomorrow, what they're going to. When was the last time you started a book and finished it? When was the last time you did something for the first time? When was that? Yeah. So some people's life are routine. So you need to ask yourself, when was the last time I did something for the first time? If you can't answer that question, you know that your life is around routine. Okay. So we now talk about the excusitization, you know, excusitization of life. People will always want to give excuses about why something went wrong and why they didn't succeed in something or all those. Now, very important to note, I always tell my friends, I am one of the guys in the world who have so much, so much, ingredients that I can use. I can use to manufacture excuses, okay? Manufacture all kinds of excuses, so much. As I'm sitting with you here, you will see me adjusting myself this way and that way because I had polio when I was 1 year, 6 months. So I am a PWD, person living with disability. So when I'm going out, I wear two braces on my legs. We call it calipers. And then I use two crutches in order to walk. You see, and I've done that for uncountable years. And I have I have terminal degrees, multiple. I have businesses. I have, Now the point is because I feel that no matter how much excuse I give, it cannot turn into currency for me to buy something from the supermarket or to go into any car shop and buy a car. It cannot. So throw it away. Excuses are nothing. They mean nothing. Now get it right. Your excuses are valid. For instance, I am disabled on my lower legs. It's valid. I can't come, and because I'm disabled, it's valid. I can't make money because I'm disabled. It's valid. I can't be best in my classes because I'm disabled. It's valid. I can't get contract because I'm disabled. It's valid. I can't marry a nice wife because I'm disabled. It's valid. I can't send my children to school because I'm disabled. It's valid. But the truth is that how much is that validity worth? How much are those excuses worth? Now, the rule is very simple. Don't complain. Your friends don't need it. Don't explain. Your enemies will not even believe you. Don't complain. Your friends don't need it. Don't explain. Your enemies will not believe you. So if you've got that, it now behoves on you to do what? To understand that for you to be a success, you must not be afraid. You must not be afraid of trying. You must keep asking questions. You must have intentions. You must have urgency. You must not be a routine person. Excuses, no, no. So that's my failure algorithm. If you want to fail, follow that algorithm. You'll be a failure in your law practice, in your personal life, in family, in everything you do. But if invert this algorithm, it becomes success algorithm. So fearization, don't fear. Ask no question, ask questions. Intentionalization, ask, all those, okay? So very quickly, let me give you algorithm for building sustainable law business. And we're going to do that very quickly because of our time. Yeah. Now, algorithms for building sustainable law business. Okay, just to be sure you are still with me. So if you want me to continue, please, it's not an insult, please, just a way to be sure that I am interacting with you. Just write yes. Write yes for me to know that you want me to continue. Don't take it as an insult, just trying to make sure that I am still with you. Just write yes. Okay. Yeah, thank you. Oh, somebody said, please list out the meaning of failure algorithm. Okay, I think you would have gotten it by now. I said fearization of trying, ask no question for A, I, intentionalization deficit, L is listenization of action, U, urgency aversion, R, routinization of life, E, excusitization. But this system will automatically send you the replay of this immediately after the class. So you can always replay, you can share with your friends, no problems at all. In business, if you love people the more, then you are more likely going to have more people coming to you. Okay, cool. So Auntie Linda, thank you very much. Appreciate you so much. That means you are paying attention. I love that. Thank you, ma'am. Okay, so let's get back to our class. So algorithms for building sustainable law business. Okay, now I call it FIRM, FIRM. That is F.I.R.M, the FIRM algorithm. So let's unpack it. Now, F stands for future facing foundation and vision. Future facing foundation and vision. Now, if you want to build a lasting law firm, you must understand the power of future facing foundation and vision. Now, the first thing is to understand that you are not a hustler, because some people act as if they are hustlers. A hustler is not building something to last. A proper entrepreneur is building something that will last. And I've told you, entrepreneurship is business running on systems. And I've told you, system is anything you put in place to save yourself stress, time, energy, and money. Now, entrepreneurship is the art, A-R-T, and the act, S-A-T, of generating new ideas or innovating old ideas into profitable products and or services and or platforms directed towards a targeted market through a creative business model. Let me repeat it just for emphasis. Entrepreneurship is the art and act of generating new ideas or innovating old ideas into profitable products and or services and or platforms directed towards a targeted market through a creative business model. In other words, in order to be an entrepreneur, you must understand how to generate new ideas, which is not important. You can innovate old ideas into profitable products, services, and platforms. Now, a question comes, what are the products, services, and platforms that you sell in your organization? And somebody will say, I'm into service, I'm not into product. Or somebody say, we don't have product, we are just lawyers. No. You need to productize. In order to build a systemized business, you must productize. So what kind of law practice are you into? And what kind of people do you cater for? You could use it to productize. You could have, we cater for those in entertainment. What do you do for them? Name those things you do for them. That become products for them. We cater for those in the maritime industry. What do you do for them? That becomes what product for them. We cater for those in the MDAs. What do you do for ministries, department, and agencies? That becomes the product. It could be 1, 2, 3. It could be in form of product, service, or platform. Time for me to talk about those, all of them. Now, you could be working for those in blah, 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 MSMEs and all these kinds of things. Yes? So you must understand who you are working for. And then you use IT, you use technology to augment what you are doing. And that's why people like us are here for you. In our organization, Sean Cussons Business School, Sean Cussons Consulting Solutions Limited, in our project, the CPD Training for Lawyers.online, we help you to fill these gaps business-wise. From artificial intelligence to business tech, we help you to fill it in advance, public speaking, help you to fill it around the areas of being able to build a virtual law firm, Yes, understanding your team, costing, compliance, and building a thriving firm, using technology, helping you to build your websites or maintain them or advise you on integration of IT into what you're doing. And these courses have CPD credits. Okay. So you are not hustling, but building a systemized business. Everything must be in order. Don't just put one secretary there and that's all. No, that's not how to. What are the units and branches and departments you have? So it starts with understanding your vision and mission and understanding it just as a mantra. If I see you in my class tomorrow or any other time, whether it's in the business and tech class happening tomorrow by 4 p.m., or whether it's my advanced business class, whether it's building a virtual law firm, or whether it's been, understanding your team and cash flow and compliance, and whether it's being on artificial intelligence, whatever, or legalpreneurship, or how to monetize your legal knowledge, the other aspects of the monetization, understanding your numbers. Whenever I see you there, I'll be able to break it down, your vision and your mission as a mantra, and how to use it to drive your firm and to be able to build a brand and positioning around it, so that at the end of the day, your name can get you the kind of clients you want. Let me tell you, wherever value goes, value returns back to source. Value is anything that is not nothing that solves a problem. There are possible adjacents to your law practice. Possible adjacents are, the low-hanging fruits, what we call value chain and all those kind of things. They are in platforms, they are in different kinds of, what do you call it, different kinds of sectors and in different kinds of products and services that you can incorporate, So I want to see you in class tomorrow by 4 p.m. So I'm able to analyze and show you this thing. We go deeper using workbooks and everything. You're able to have a document that you're going to use to run your law firm. But your vision is where you are going. Your vision is your destination. Where are you going to? When you get to your dream, when you get to your vision, where will it be? What kind of law firm are you building? How many story building will it be? How many workers will you have? In how many states? In how many countries? In how many continents will it be? Yes, you must understand those. Now, there are core values. Your core values should become a religion unto your staff members. Your core values should become a religion. Your core values should not just be like, yeah, these are core values, integrity. No. In our organization, one of our major core values is what we call facts you can use. So immediately you enter our organization, from the first step, we are teaching you the things you will use. We're not teaching you things that you are knowing for knowledge's sake. Life is too short for you to know something and then you don't have need of it. It makes no sense. It must give you, whether it's intellectual satisfaction or, physical, pragmatic, use, or whatever it is. So you must understand your core values, but they are going to be mantra, they're going to be religion. They're not just going to be like, okay, our core value is this and that. No, you're going to live it. Yeah. Now you must have solid governance structure in your organization. This helps you to know the flow of information, not just a one-man show, something that, is scalable, something that partners can come in and then adapt, people can invest and then become shareholders in the place, and then nothing changes because everybody fixes in so easily and all those. Okay. Now, the governance structure must not be because you copied it from somewhere. It must be autochthonous, very, very okay with your style, with where you are going, not just something a consultant just come and impose on you. Yeah, no. or something you copy from another law firm and you don't know the software running it, okay? Now, you must have interdependent departmental framework where one department's interaction with another, interaction with another is like a churn, and that produces the strength of the organization and produces, yes, the wealth of the organization affects the bottom line and client acquisition, client returnership, client referral scheme, and all those kinds of things. Yeah. Makes work easier and client, they're happy because of what you do for them. So you must also have a strategic blueprint, not just routine execution. Let's run, let's go, let's no. Everything must be strategic. Everything strategic is like saying touching what will touch, 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 what will give you the results you are looking for. It's like if you have cats that are standing, yeah, they are all standing like for 100 kilometers. If you want all of them to fall, you just need to push the one in front to touch the other one while falling. So that one he touches will touch another one, that one will touch another one, that one will touch another one, that one will touch another one, as they keep falling. And then that's that. You have the fall, you have your job done, and you'll be drinking tea while, yeah, the fall is going on. So that's what it looks like. The F, future facing foundation and vision. Yeah. When you are doing it, some colleagues will laugh at you, say, all this thing you are doing, all this thing. It doesn't matter whether you are in a half room. It doesn't matter whether you are in a plaza, whether you are at the back of, a staircase. If you know where you are going, you will just keep doing your thing and doing your thing and doing your thing. And before you know it, those who laugh at you will just know that, hey, yeah, we were laughing, but this guy knows what he's doing. I was teaching about this thing some think months back. Some of the people there were university professors. It was our AEP, Advanced Entrepreneurship Program. So a woman, yeah, one doctor from the northern part of Nigeria, she said, "Doctor, let me tell you, there's this woman, we did PhD together. And this woman, because we did library and information science, and this woman opened a YouTube channel where we are doing our PhD. And she said she's curating information, and her own interest is in Babalawo and spiritual healers and all those kinds of weird things that people get scammed by the ones that are not real. So what she wants to do is she wants to pre-qualify these people and make them accessible to her followers on the YouTube. And those people who she's pre-qualifying will pay money. Those people who want to have access to those she has pre-qualified will pay money. So she was creating a platform. So that when that woman started that thing, that they will go to her YouTube when she make her videos, they'll go to her YouTube and as classmates, PhD classmates, and comment nonsense there. And the woman didn't care. She never even deleted what they were commenting. She left them. After many years that they have finished their PhD for many years now, and then that the woman in the streets where she lives in Kano, that she has bought the whole building by the left and the whole building by the right of that street where she's living, and turn it into her own personal street. That when they are on strike out of government is not paying, government is paying, a lot of them run to her and she dash them money, 500,000, 1 million and all that. And she called the name of her social, her YouTube, and we opened it. She has hundreds of, and she has different YouTube channels where she's doing that, okay? And can you imagine what kind of weird business is that? But you see, she understands what she was doing. She understands the market. And she was able to she wasn't marketing, she was just like, rather, she wasn't advertising. She just tell people, how to use key, how to do this one. She was just giving information. And people started following her, and then she started curating the babalawos and the, all those kinds of people. And then she became rich. Now, I'm not supporting or denying or not or rejecting what she's done. I'm just telling you how understanding your game can become a powerful tool. Yeah, understanding strategic execution. The I in the firm is what we call innovation and tech inclusive operations. So having innovative and tech inclusive operation is one of the algorithms in the firm algorithm for building a powerful law firm. So it must be innovative and tech inclusive in your operations. Now, there are 6 elements of innovation strategy. Number 1 is you must have your offer. Number 2, you must understand lead generation. How do I get people to know about my law firm? Number 3, that's what we call marketing. Number 3, you must understand sales. Sales has to do with lead conversion. How do I convert these people who know me, who know about me? How do I convert them to people who can buy from me? Number 4, building systems. Number 5, you must understand how to automate the system you've built. And number 6, you must understand how to scale. So, integrating legal tech tools for acquisition, client acquisition, for client management, for billing, for onboarding, for research, for a lot. Those are all it takes when we talk about innovation. Now, we have a course called Business Tech, okay, Business and Technology, yeah, for building a thriving law firm. And I want you to be part of that course. This is where we break down all this and you see all the tools you need to be able to do more. I spent so much money training myself in a year. And if I'm not traveling out, like I'm not going to any other business school outside the country, I spend at least 10 million. Apart from the fact that I read an average of 1 book every single day, I spend at least 10 million on my self-development. Why? Because everything I do is based on my head. People pay us huge amount in hundreds of millions just to come and train our organization for 2, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days. So can you imagine not investing back into that equipment that is doing the work? So always take out time to train yourself, not just in the legal practice, but also on the tools that will make things easier for you. And that's why I'm inviting you for tomorrow's class. It's 4 p.m. Now, I'll put the link, if I have my staff there. Okay, then let me find the link. So I'm going to put the link there so that you can copy it out and then be able to, I'm going to talk about that, but you'll be able to, join after the class. You click on the link, you could type it out or open it somewhere. You click on it and register for the class. There are different runs for it. So you'll be able to do that. And somebody says the session has been disrupted by network. I'm not, my monitor shows that the class is still on. Okay, please, if you're hearing me, just write in yes. If you're hearing me, just write in yes, please, just to be sure that you are hearing me. Okay, thank you. Okay. Thank you, Linda. Linda is my assistant. Thank you. And Tiffy, thank you very much. Okay. She says she cannot see from here. Okay, how many of you? 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 Okay What can't you see? If anyone, please, can you help me? What can't you see? Or you were replying to the person? Okay, I want to be sure that people are hearing me. And please, doctor, could you paste the link in the Q&A box? I can't see the chat. Okay. Um, I don't know if you are seeing it in the Q&A post now. I've placed it there. Yeah. So I don't know if you are seeing it. Are you seeing the link, please? Are you seeing the link? Are you seeing the link I posted? Please help me. Are you seeing the link I posted? Angela, are you seeing the link I posted? Okay, somebody saying I can hear, see, and follow every detail, but I can't comment. Oh, sorry about that. Okay, somebody help me. Any of my assistant, I mean my workers, if you are here, help me to know whether the link is available to people. Yeah, in my monitor, I can see the link. Yeah, so I think you can see it. Okay, let me continue. Click on the link, sign or question. Yeah. Um, yes, I can see the link now. And some of us turned on the chat. Okay. Okay, so I posted it on the chat. I've also posted on the question here. Okay, so let me go back to my class. Now, so I want you to join that class. I'm having it tomorrow 4 to 7 p.m. It's going to be so amazing. You are going to learn so much on, you cannot like advertise, but you are going to see how to use business tech to do your thing and then get the exposure. You want to run an organized firm and then be able to make more income and make more name. Okay. So now, automation systems. Now, efficient, effective, scalable, that's what we mean by innovative and tech inclusive operations, making sure that you automate most of the things you do. It makes it efficient, it makes it effective, it makes it scalable. And there are a lot of tools for that, that you can use to do your automation. And that's what we learn when I see you in the business tech class. Now you understand global best practices in law firm management and prepare yourself to be among the top rated or ranked law firms in the world. As of now, you see Nigerian firms are rarely ranked but there are algorithms to all those. Yeah. Now, definitive but dynamic business model. You will know how you take people. A lot of you saw us online and then you clicked or saw us on any platform and then you are here for a free training, and then after that we want to have relationship with you and do our programs. Let's help you build your law firm at the business level and all those, and then we cycle, you get us referral, and then we give you more value, and then as you scale, we help you with your other customer acquisition methods and systems, help you with other tools, help you even with finding maybe non-legal staff that are well trained already, who understand what to do, manage your social media handles, not market, rather not selling or what do you call it, advertising, but knowing just marketing without marketing and all those kinds of things. So all kinds of, we work with you on. That is our business model. We give you the value, you come in with, if you love it, we expand the relationship. Like if you love what you've seen here today, you register for the paid program, and then after that, if you love it, oh, we help you with other of your system. As far as you're making money, you invest 30,000, you make 500,000, 2 million. Why won't you invest another? So that way, we are priming you, we are, giving you a value, and you are becoming better, and then we are expanding the relationships and all this kind of thing. Okay. So R stands for responsible and responsive human resource operations. Now, these are all this, the FEM algorithm. In fact, if I show you, the FEM algorithm program for senior lawyers is about 3.5 million for 3 days. You see, we have another one somewhere in October, I think second week or so. And that's not CPD related. Okay. We have programs that are not CPD related. The one I'm talking about tomorrow is CPD related, and because in CPD we cannot charge more than 30,000. Okay, so now, but this program I'm talking about is 3.5 million. Now the point becomes that as you grow and you make more money, or a lot more money, by virtue of what you are learning, you're able to say, oh, I want to do this one, I want to buy this one, I want to even go into mentorship and all those kinds of things. So that's what happened. And then having responsible and responsive human resource operation means that you must have talent pipelines, high potential, high performance lawyers, high potential, high performance staff. You must have a way of acquiring them. You must have a way of making sure that you onboard them, that you are the best place they feel like they want to work in. Then if you are still not having your own firm right now, this knowledge will help you and make it easier for you, so that you can have fame and then you move. Because you can't force people to come and work with you or for you, or even people to come and hire you as a client. It's your visibility and your understanding of who you are. Let me tell you, confidence has its own aroma. The same way with lack of clarity has its own stench. Yeah. Immediately you are confident. Yes. Confidence is a function of knowledge, something you know about humans, about how people behave, about the quality and what you carry. You see, people see people who register for my mentorship, $10,000 on the equivalent of any country, so you are coming from, and they say, what is it going to do for you? $10,000 for this and that. Now, the point is that the people who register for that $10,000 is no more a problem for them. What they're looking for is deeper. What they're looking for is stronger than $10,000. There's somebody who, one of my clients, my mentorship clients, he called me one day around 12 midnight. And, I was so tired, I couldn't even answer. My wife said, please, you need to answer. They paid for this. They paid for your time. So when I answered the man, he said that he's very sorry. I'm not a medical doctor, but he knows that he's going to speak with me right now, that his BP was going very high and high. He's a billionaire. But he knows that before his driver could take him to hospital or whatever, but it's not a hospital affair, that he's worried something happened, it's a family something. And then, we spoke from that 12 till about 4 a.m. But you see, within just 10 minutes of speaking with him, this thing normalized, simply because what he needed was not medical. What he needed was mentorship, was direction, was something that was bothering him. So that's what you're going to understand in your own work. It's not everybody that can be your client, and it's not everybody that's worthy of you, and you're not also worthy of everybody. So that's why we said you need to understand those who are willing and able. Somebody can be willing and the person is not able. In other words, the person wants to buy, but the person doesn't have the money. Some of you want to do my program tomorrow, but probably you're not boxed up for that little money. So the person is willing, but the person is not able. Some people may be able, but they're not willing. Oh, you have the money, but you feel it's not for you. You don't want. The same. Some people want your services, but they can't pay. Some people can pay, but they don't want you. So your job ab initio is to get those who are willing and able. Forget about those who are willing but not able, and those who are able but not willing. Pack them one side, keep warming them up, keep warming them up, let them be within your view. Keep warming them up, but don't spend too much energy on them. Okay? So you must have talent pipelines, high potential, high performance lawyers who join your your thing and all those. Then you must have performance management system with a human resource management information system. This age is good one and quite a lot, seamless HR and others. How you onboard your workers in a particular system that it makes it easier for you to actually, yes, understand who they are, what they do, the amount of work they're able to do, the part they have in the organization, and everything is measurable. Okay. Now you need to design salary and partnership structure that is worthy, that is appetizing. Remember, will you want somebody to pay your daughter, your son, or yourself how much you are paying people? Yes. So it's very important that you understand that you're not the only person people should work for. They have alternatives. So you should make that place a worthy place. You must understand the importance of having 10% of 100 than 100% of nothing. So partnership is always the way to go, because it's synergy. Synergy is not arithmetic progression. It's a geometric progression. 1 + 1 doesn't get you 2 in synergy. It can get you 11. It can get you 1,000. So you must also, have a pattern that turn employees into partners. And that way they know how they are growing in the organization, how they will end, who they'll become. So it must be very vivid and very written and in a handbook, so that people know how they can move into different layers of the organization. Okay. So if you go to www.cpdtrainingforlawyers.online, so give me 1 minute to just tell you this, and then we go back to, So if you go to cpdtrainingforlawyers.online, you'll see our courses. Okay. We have some courses that are going to help you build. Here we have the business and tech systems for building a thriving and sustainable legal practice. This course is designed to help legal practitioners transition from routine legal work to building scalable, profitable law business. It provides tools to implement systems and workflows that ensure consistency, ethical standards, and business growth. It's just 3 hours online, live class. The cost is nothing. It's just 30,000 naira. We don't have any cost that is less than 950,000 in our organization. So in this course, you understand the difference between law practice and law business, and how to build law business, from a practical dimension. You learn how to design repeatable system for client onboarding, case management, billing, and CSR. You understand how to apply ethical standard in legal system, rather service delivery while scaling, and understand the empathy and branding. Then you discover models for sustainable profitability, delegation, and legacy. The modules we will look at will include models like understanding the business side of law, where we are able to go through all the gamut of the offer. We'll go through the gamut of marketing without marketing. We'll go through the gamut of selling without selling. We go through the gamut of understanding automation, understanding systems, understanding scaling, and the tools you're going to use to actually achieve all those. Then you're going to look at systems thinking and the S-step business algorithm for law firms. You're going to see this, and you're able to implement them one by one. We're going to look at client experience and onboarding system, or the tools you're going to use for that, ethical law practice, branding and business growth. You understand branding in law, and then case management and billing workflows, building a performance-driven team, how to hold your team accountable, and how to make sure that they're doing the right thing, and what kind of thing do you even need. Yes, you're going to understand that. So if you come to this page, you'll just fill this form, the payment, whatever is there. So let me just drop the payments link on the distance, so that in case you can just use it to make your payment, and then send us the payment details to any of the WhatsApp numbers you saw there, and then we are able to, yes, onboard you and help you be part of the class tomorrow. Okay, so I've just put in the link, so you're able to do that. Okay, so now just let me conclude with that. So now we have other programs. Yeah, if you go to the website and click on the courses, you're going to see CPD training courses for lawyers. You're going to, our mantra in this program, CPD training for lawyers, is get the learning and get the points. In other words, don't just go do this for points sake. Get the learning. Things are changing. Transitioning is going on. In the next few years, if you are not developing very well, you may not be, you may not really be doing so well. So it's very important that so we have advanced public speaking and persuasive communication for lawyers. It's amazing. You'll be so surprised what you learn. We have business and tech systems for building a thriving and sustainable legal practice. And we have legalpreneurship mastery and ethical monetization of legal expertise. Here you're going to see all the possible things you can go into as a legalpreneur. We are going to look at number 4 is understanding clients, cash flow, and compliance, starting and running a systemized legal practice. Number 5 is digital law practice accelerator, building a virtual law firm. How do you build a law firm that is virtual, that you can manage from everywhere? Now, the 6th one there is artificial intelligence, time, team, and tools, operational excellence in legal practice. So if you go down, you'll see our course schedule. You can just click and download it and be able to see all courses, and then their timings and their different runs, and be able to be part of them. Okay, so now let's wind down, because our time is already up. So let's wind down. I'm going to just show you the last part of the module, and then we get out. So I've explained to you what we do at CPD training for lawyers.online. And if the money is difficult for you to pay, you can understand that, you need to do something about your finances. Yes, you need to do something about your finances. CPD training for lawyers.online. So www.cpdtrainingforlawyers.online, and see our courses. So the final letter M in the FEM algorithm is momentum for market leadership. The M stands for momentum for market leadership. In understanding momentum, just think of using keke or using bicycle to climb a hill. If you are climbing the hill, most times, if you stop throttling. Let's assume you are using a bicycle. If you stop throttling, you start going back. So in our journey in life, whether it's in legal practice and legal business and all those, immediately we stop throttling, we start going back. So that's why you must maintain your momentum. And the momentum is maintained by understanding the difference between intensity and consistency. Intensity is push, 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 and then you get tired. Consistency is push, 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 push. You keep pushing. So most of us have intensity, but we don't have consistency. After this course, now you run, try and do one or two things, boop, 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 boop. Before you know it, you get tired. Yes, that's why you need training to understand how to take it all the way home without getting tired and all those. So you must master and automate the offer. That's the way not to get what? Get what do you call it? Tired and burn out. Yes, you master the offer, you automate it from the offer to the lead generation to the lead conversion to the systems to the automation to scaling algorithm, understanding them, yeah, like the back of your hand. You see, earlier I was talking about the different levels of knowledge, and I stopped at the first one. The first one I mentioned was what I called, or we call, unconscious incompetence. You don't know, and you don't know that you don't know. Now, the second one is conscious incompetence. You don't know, and now you know that you don't know. The third one is conscious competence. You know, but it's difficult for you to do. So when you want to do it, you still put in a lot of energy, you think about it and all those. Yes. And then the last one, number 4, is unconscious competence. You don't, rather, you know, and you don't even think about it while you are doing. A lot of you at the level of your law practice, you are like that. You can quote all the constitutions and everything without even thinking about that. You saw me training here for the past 2 hours plus, and I've been talking, and I'm not thinking what I'm saying. The point is because for every week I clock in at least 30 contact hours training the high, the mighty, the low, the common, all kinds of people. So naturally, my neural pathways are very alert to training. So you can call me anytime and say, oh, teach us whatever it is, any topic. I could teach without preparing for it because I've done it for many years and decades. And then, I have developed the neural pathway for that. So that's what happened when you develop the neural pathway for customer acquisition, for client engagement and acquisition, for client, upselling. These are, if you build those capacity, it becomes so easy for you. You are able to get clients easily. Having said that, ladies and gentlemen, very important to know that compelling positioning and marketing strategies for brand visibility is what momentum requires. You must keep having compelling positioning. You don't just get tired and say, relapse. No. And that is why you cannot do it alone. You need to have a proper team, well-trained, understanding where they're going and be able to navigate them. Otherwise, it will just be you trying to do one-man show, and then you get tired along the way. Yeah. So you must build automatic client acquisition systems with minimal input. How do people discover you? How do they know about you? Now, that's what I'm going to teach you tomorrow, 4 p.m. Yes. How do they get to work with you? Yeah. So understanding all this are at the heart of momentum. Being able to create automation, being able to maintain the compelling positioning, being able to understand marketing strategy that doesn't offend your code of conduct. or code of practice, and then building automated client acquisition system with minimal input, having a salesman standing online, or at any of your platforms, and then keep doing the marketing for you. So I want to stop here because we've shot over our time, but I please will want to take your um reactions. Yes, I want you to tell me what you have picked today um in the class. So if you raise your hands, I will unmute you to talk. Kindly raise your hands. Yeah, I will want to hear your voice. Tell me what you want. Yes, raise your hands. Okay, so I'm gonna mute you right now. Um, okay, so I have Feyunwa. I have yeah, if you can you talk? I have Shola, I have Oluwatosi. Okay. Yes. Let me know what you pick from this training today. Yeah, quickly. Yes.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning,
Can you
ma'am.
hear me?
Yes, ma'am, we're hearing you.
Okay, I wish to commend the organizers of this very insightful webinar. It
Thank
kept me entertained all through, and I really appreciate the efforts and work that you put into um, the topic.
thank you.
Well, I would say that from my own end, what I have, my takeaway from the webinar is the the fact that you were able to put a difference between law practice and law as a business, and differentiating it from the way we take it as a practice,
Yeah.
and the way you also try to make us to make our clients to meet our clients' needs to the point that they will be dependent on us for so many things.
Yes.
Yes. So because I usually try to not to overshoot myself when
Yeah.
I'm interacting with my clients. I try not to be too forward. I try not to be seen as desperate when you are briefing me, for example, for recovery of premises,
Yeah.
and somewhere along the line, I know that the client will also need my service as a lawyer to pay his annual return, or to get one or two documents filled out, or to do one or two legal drafting for him or her. But in the bid for me not to appear desperate, or for me not to want to flaunt the rules of professional conduct,
Yeah.
I normally put myself out there by asking you questions beyond the current brief, beyond
Yeah.
what you have briefed me for. So, but somehow I have learned how to subtly apply wisdom and get more out of my client
Yeah.
than he or she is presenting. So that is
Yeah.
my take away from all of this, even though I'm kind of distracted at some point in time or the other, either by virtue of the house chores, the kids, and the poor network from my end. But in
Um,
all, I followed, yes, and I've learned a great deal. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. So when it comes, that's why I talked about this as more of a love affair. Is something that you must know that this person you are dealing with is a human being. He has other needs and all those, and then you are able to have I mentioned all the things that we were taught in school and we're taught in a lot of places. A lot of them are a lot outdated today. Who told you now that you could be having training online? Harvard is doing it, every university. In fact, NUC has approved uncountable universities that are giving degrees just online. Who told you before? In civil service, you can't even talk about online degree and anybody will listen to you. But today it is normalized. NUC is approving online university. So 21st century is now to see how you make them feel. They want to the empathy. They want to understand that you care for them. They want to understand that you're not just taking their money. They want to when you direct your client, is advisory. What are your annual returns? Please try and do that. We also do it, but if you have other people who can do it for you, please try and do, because it will start counting for you. And it's advisory. You tell the person, and then if the person decides to use you, okay. If the person doesn't use you, and if the person will always owe it to you that, oh, this woman opened my eye here, and all those. So ability to love is so important, and in the 21st century now, love is a very important aspect of business. Okay, thank you, ma'am. So yes, the next person, please. I want to take as many as possible. Yes, the next person. Oluwatosi, Shola, Uchechi, yes. Anybody can talk. Yes, what did you pick? Linda? Yes. Yes, anybody can just talk. You can just unmute yourself. I mean, if you raise your hands and I unmute you, please talk. Linda Honor, can I hear your voice? Hello, Linda. Google, can I hear yours? Okay, Oluwatosin, Shola, Uchechi, okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning,
Good
ma'am.
morning. I want to thank the organizers of this program because it's really been impactful one.
Thank you.
I have taken my time listening to you down from when you were talking about the issues that has to do with us being able to bring out the best in our law practice.
Yes.
I was able to pinpoint some issues, and I want to ask this particular question because
Yes,
we are on the under the employment of the government. We are law officers. I'm a law officer that works with Ministry of Justice, and I want to know. You talked about failure algorithm, and you talked about routinization.
Yes.
As a killer when it has to do with being able to come up with new developments that will help you in your law practice. And I want to ask now that as law officers, more of what we do is that we most of the times we are in court. It's either you are in court, if you're on the civil aspect, you will be always being in court, being able to present matters that are given to you, assigned to you. If you're on the criminal aspect, you're also there. And this is something we do like a routine. Is there any other way one can delve into other areas of our profession that can also give you room, for you to market your profession, and then at the same time you're not being too tied to routines that occurs on daily basis, even though you are under the government employment? I don't know if I'm able to really put up what I have in mind.
Yes, I got your point very well. Now, if you look at the screen, I have um something there. That
Yes.
is, this is BSR 100425. It says, in accordance with the provisions of the Regulated and Other Professions
Yes.
Private Practice Prohibition Act, Cap 390, Part 2, no officer shall engage in private practice. However, exemption shall be granted to private medical practitioners and law lecturers in the universities and other public servants who
Yes.
are interested in practicing in the field of ICT and agricultural business value chain, provided that it does not conflict with their official duties. Now, you see, if I go over, like, let me show you now. If I go over to like udemy.com, let me share the screen, and we say legal issues in business. I'm sharing the screen now.
Okay.
Udemy.com is a platform where um, you put your courses, and it's free for you to put your courses there. Legal issues in business, sorry. It's free for you to put your courses there. You don't pay anything, but they will sell it for you, and then they will do what? They will now pay you. Okay, so it's just about being smart. Since they say you can do everything in the agricultural business value chain, you can do everything in ICT and all those kinds of things. You can, decide that you are just enlightening people on how to understand legal issues in business, maybe in Nigeria or any other jurisdiction, and you do them as courses and you put them online for platforms like this to sell for you. And you're going to see,
Okay.
like, if you look at here, this is a legal English complete master, legal communication. You see business law essentials. You'll see, sorry, you'll see blah blah blah. So this is how you are going to see people, business law for entrepreneurs and managers. You see thousands of people taking those courses. There are some you open and see that more than 150,000 people have taken the courses and all those. So it mustn't mean that you must, go and open a chamber or whatever. It's just to find ways of doing that. And teaching is one of the easiest way to selling. Even if it's just a YouTube place that you have online, where you every week you record one issue in law and enlighten people on tenancy issue, marriage issue, whatever, and all those, yeah. And then there's your email there, and you see them from time to time calling you to ask you questions and what they can do and all those kinds of things, and then attending your training on a weekend like this. There's what you do with your time today and tomorrow. Nobody will flog you for it. Yes, you can have courses on today and tomorrow and attend your courses and all those. That is, yeah. But also, I resigned from university 2 years to full professorship, and I always tell people, and if I go back to university now, I have more than 20 years to be in the university. I've trained all your directors, and all the state councils of your Federal Ministry of what do you call it, justice, I think 2022 or 2023, and all those. Now, if I was in the university, I wouldn't have that time. I have lectures that day or whatever. But at every point, you start having dissatisfaction in what you are doing, and then the possibility of other things. I always encourage people to grow something by the side, and immediately it does 2 times your normal salary. You leave your job and go for that. I'm not saying you should resign, but for me, starting a work like a job as a civil servant and finishing there for pension purposes and other, you waiting for when you become a director or permanent secretary. Those things they don't mean they sound inane to me. Why? Because really speaking, check all the people that make all the things you do today. For instance, Tinubu, they said he was he worked in Mobile. and blah blah blah. And then he's president. With Adams Oshiomhole, that is a senator. He was a government worker in Kaduna or whatever. And then look at all of them. Because Babio was practicing law in Lagos or whatever before. So in life, starting one place and finishing one place may not be the best as for those who are high flyers, but those who are okay, they love where they are. That's a good place to continue and finish. So my advice is, anytime you are not very, very happy or comfortable, or you feel you can do more in life, start planning. Give yourself 24 to 36 months and then exit. Yeah, and all those. Everybody who retired from some of the MDAs, military, paramilitary, and some of the MDAs, they passed through my programs, because we have returnship with a lot of them. And I found that when people retire between 12 to 36 months, no matter how much they have made in civil service, either they are, unless they rework themselves and reorganize themselves, either they are permanently what do you call it, depressed, or they become very ill, or they have
Yes.
terminal illnesses, or they become poor, or they suffer divorce, or people just scam them of their wealth, or they open businesses that will fail, and at the end of the day, all the 30 something years they spend, somebody will just take it away from them by virtue of workers and managers, and they go to square A and square B and all that. So for me, anytime you start feeling you can do more with life, I think also prayerfully look in that direction. I think that's a side advice. That's not what you ask anyway. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. The next person, please. Yes.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
It is really
I'm hearing you.
Okay.
I've learned so much.
I didn't actually join at the reception of this webinar, but so far, pretty good.
Complex master.
Go ahead.
Let me focus on what was hello.
Yes, ma. We're hearing you, ma.
Okay. All right. Let me focus on what is most important in everything you have taught this morning, and that's intentional consistency.
Yes, ma'am.
It's very important. That's what I didn't really. I saw this link on a lawyer's platform that has to do with elections, and on a regular, I wouldn't even bat an eyelid. But when I looked through, I had a hunch. Try it, because I'm always hunting for more knowledge. It's very important and critical that lawyers begin to run with the tide, like you've said, and the emphasis you gave to it about consistency. That is, you have to lose comfort. You don't have to be comfortable with where you are per time for you to move to the next level. Let me give an example. I'm majorly an adoption provider. Okay, that's why you're having a call by 12 midnight and counseling a client or whoever till over 4 hours resonates with me, because I get clients. I have clients now who have become not just clients but family friends, and so they call me anytime. Yesterday I got a call by 8 a.m. Now I had a brief that had to do with fintech for a lawyer who is majorly involved in adoption legal services. If I wasn't tech savvy, if I didn't know what to do, I had to look up ISA, because I was going to sit down with some people at the SEC and negotiate and do a lot of things aside just the legal services, in case if we couldn't resolve it and we're getting to court. So, but that's IT thing makes it easier and faster for you to access every information from anywhere at any point. And I was able to look at ISA. I equipped myself, and fortunately, by the time we got there, we were speaking things that had to do with what I looked up. The the summary of the entire thing is that I really applaud you that the entirety of, I didn't join at the inception, like I said earlier, but from what I have learned from the point that I joined, honestly, I'm not losing it, and I'm sure I'm not recovering from it anytime soon. In fact,
Thank
I sent the
you.
message that I want to do a collaboration. I want to go beyond here with you and your organization. Okay.
Thank
So
you, ma'am.
what I'm simply saying is, it is important that we as lawyers, that we move with the tide. The tide is moving. And what's that tide? That tide is IT. You mentioned it, AI, all manner. But just get on with the tide so that you can actually grow.
True.
And having said that, the summary is that you're telling us today that we should be consistent with innovation. It's just everything is everything in one piece with every other thing that you're teaching. Because if you're not actually moving with the tide, you're not changing, you're too comfortable where you are, then nobody will even be able to learn. Just like you said, there are people who are willing and able, because there are people who have made up their mind to make progress, to move to the next level. And if you don't equip yourself, you can't get there. So that equipment is innovation. How do you evolve? You change strategy, you move, you don't just get comfortable. Of course, it comes with a lot of discomfort and of course sacrifices. Like you said, yes, the economy is biting, but
True.
if you really want to distinguish yourself and stand away from even the biting, actually, you have to make sacrifices. So I thank you and I appreciate you, and
Thank
I
you.
must say it has really been insightful.
Thank you.
So
God bless you. Thank you.
amen.
Thank you so much.
Amen.
Okay. Amazing contribution. Thank you, ma'am. Shola, can you say something? Uchechi, Nkoli. Yes. Can I have them? I'm ready to hear everything. And then also, if you have questions, please, you ask. Yes, it's very important for me. Olushola, please. I want to hear what you have to say, please. Samuel. Yes, those who raised their hands, please, can you speak? Are you finding it difficult to unmute yourself because I've unmuted you from here?
Morning. Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
I'm Olushola, and it's just a commendation. I really want to commend you for this time. I wasn't expecting much from it because, just confession, I wasn't expecting much from it because when I saw it was free, I was just like, oh, let me just see what it's going to be about. But when you started speaking, I sat up. I was going to do other things while listening, but when you started speaking, I sat up. I said, okay, I don't have an excuse. Then there was a point you started talking that your excuses are valid, they are good, but it's not really good to have an excuse. Then another thing is, I'm just going to speak quickly. Another thing I noticed is that if I'm going to build a law firm, I need to partner with my staff. And I saw you doing a lot of it, even today, saying, oh, if my staff can do this, my staff can do, making them feel involved in what you are even doing, even though they are not speaking. So that's the key point. I took I took a lot of things. So I just want to speak quickly for others to speak. And those are the things I took today. And I want to commend you for this free session. And I'm sure I'm going to do other sessions with you. Thank you.
Thank you. Please, I sincerely appreciate it. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. Nkoli.
Can you hear me, Mr. Sean?
Yes, ma'am. I can hear you, ma'am.
Thank you so much for this session. It's been so insightful and impactful.
Thank you.
I think it will be foolhardy for lawyers to rely only on their LLB and BL. I think they need to, try to learn, unlearn, and relearn, just like you said.
Yes.
For me, I have an online. I have a website where I share legal insights, digital solutions, and self-improvements. I've tried to productize my services. I built the website myself.
Wow.
I did the marketing, so I had a little issues setting up that services on my website. So I think that is where your organization will have to come in.
Okay.
I need to take the virtual services package you just advertised. I just want to thank you so much for giving out all this free of charge. I will contact you and then we can hit the ground running from there. Thank you so much. Another question I have is, please, which website did you put up where lawyers can go and take those courses? Aside there was one I saw for 10,000 and categorized. Which website was that, please?
Our own is CPD. I think it's on the board. CPD www.cpdtrainingforlawyers.online. CPD training.
There's another one you just put up and took down before you put up this slide.
Is it the one I said that you can put your courses there and people can buy?
Sorry, say that again.
The one when I was talking to the mommy from Federal Ministry of Justice, the one I said you can put your courses there and people can buy.
Yes. Okay. Which website is that?
Yes, that is Udemy. Udemy.
Udemy. Okay. All right. All right. Thank you.
Udemy. Yes.
All right. Thank you. I just needed to, be absolutely sure which website it is. I thought it was
Udemy.com. Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you so much for everything you do. I'll contact your office so we can, help my website to get the visibility.
You are highly welcome. We are here for you. Thank you. Okay. So the next person, please. If you also have questions, somebody asked a question, I will answer a little later. The person typed it. So if you have any question, please, you can always ask. Echeme, please, can you talk? Look, please, I want to listen to everything. Uchechi, I don't think you've spoken. Yes. Yes, I want to listen to, I have a little more time to listen to all this, please. Those are very important because it's also our feedback mechanism, okay? Uchechi, can you speak, ma'am? Luke, Echeme, Luke. Yes. Can I hear you?
Good morning. I had spoken and one from the State Ministry of Justice, Abia State, and you really gave me you really gave me the insights I needed to hear about, because I've had this lacuna, while trying to discharge my duties, my legal duties as a legal officer, that I'm not doing enough. I'm not doing enough. Yes. I have this craving
too much capacity.
Yes. But the insight you are giving me now has really touched on that.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
I'm very grateful. Very grateful. Thank you.
One funny thing about 21st century, I always tell people, 21st century is a century of permissionlessness. In other words, for instance, if you keep developing things and putting on YouTube, for instance, and pay, immediately you get to 1,000 subscription and 4,000, number of views and all those. You find out that you monetize it, and every month you could get $100, $200, or $1,000 or $50, depending on how much people visit that. And it is forever. There are 4 leverages in the 21st century, but 2 are more important than any one of them now. We have capital, we have labor, then we have media, and we have code. So code and media at the highest level of what we call leverage in the 21st century, because what we are doing now, whether it's Zoho or Meet or YouTube, they're all just code. And then this thing we are producing is media. If you go online, you see people. You saw Jerry Eze a few days ago has made more than 10 billion from his YouTube. Okay, more than 10 billion. He didn't set out to do it. He set out to pray.
Yeah.
And then now, apart from praying on that platform, now YouTube is paying him money for the number of people he brings to YouTube and people who I don't think when he started, he set out to come and earn YouTube money. But you see, he's also changing life from his own perspective or whatever he's doing. And people also pay tithes and pay whatever. But you see, he's also, that thing he has there on YouTube, whether he's alive or dead, those prayers will still be there forever. People will wake up in the midnight and go and have access to those prayers. He will still end even when he's a million years old, and when his children will come. So code and media are the highest level of leverage in the 21st century, and that's why I encourage everybody to be part of the program tomorrow, where you understand the joining of business and tech together. So thank you, Auntie Chechi. Sorry, I didn't know you had spoken before.
Sir.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Okay. Yes. Okay. So I think I have 5 more minutes, please. Can I hear from Luke and HMA and yes, Oluwatosin? Can I hear from you? Then I answer the question from somebody who, yeah, very quickly.
Yes, good morning.
Sir. Yes, sir. Good morning.
Sir.
Yes.
I want to array of others who are complementing this program.
Thank you,
and
sir.
I want to urge you, if there's any way, the senior lawyers master class, which is for 3.5 million, if there's any way that concessions can be given so that a vast majority of lawyers could be able to have the privilege to attend. Because I feel law, in most cases, the way we practice it, lots of lawyers are in penury. They don't have the wherewithal to attend the courses as they seem to be.
True.
If there's any way that you can give us the concession to attend. I'm saying this because even while I was studying law, I remember my stepmom saying that, is it law that I'm going to read? Lawyers that they use only one shoe, they wear shoe until the sole is off and all that. But yet I still persisted, and I can say that because I'm a lawyer now, I'm able to have the voice in the family. There's no decision they take at family level that I'm not, they don't try to know what I think.
True.
It has really empowered me, and
yes.
I am somebody who is willing to know more and to do more in terms of knowledge acquisition. So
Yes,
I was work personally with you because I see how insightful this program. I took it casually to join, but I know you are somebody I can, so that maybe I'll be able to have the opportunity of mentorship. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Uncle Luke. Thank you so much. I highly appreciate it. You know, the law profession, very prestigious, very powerful, but in third world countries, I don't know what we are, and especially also because of how governments and the politicians have also messed up the system. So the level of trust in that system is also affecting those who use it as their profession too. So I can comfortably understand what you are saying and all those. Thank you very much for coming. I appreciate you, sir. HMA, please, can you say something? And then, yes, I think Samuel. Can I hear from these two, and then I answer the question and then wind down here. While I'm HMA, can you say I'm not hearing you, sir? So let me somebody asked a question. Somebody said, sir, can you tell them to introduce themselves with their name before saying what they learned? I'm not seeing that. Oh, sorry there. I didn't see this on time. Okay. So now somebody asked a question. Somebody said, okay, somebody asked about WhatsApp number for payments. Okay, 090-555 99925. Okay, please. Our WhatsApp number that you can get us with 090555 99925 090555 99925. Okay, for that person who asked that question, please, you can see that. Okay, so the webinar has made me see the technical dimension of law practice. Thank you, Temi. I appreciate. Then Theophilus said, I've learned so much today from this webinar, but I have this question of balancing the algorithm for balancing successful law practice and close associates and family requirements for your services. Very important question, Theophilus. I wouldn't know if you are still here, okay? But you see, I developed what I called an algorithm for, the proper measurement of wealth. Yeah. I call it 5 spectrums of wealth. Now, I will mention them because your question is very relevant. Now, before I mention them, let me tell you that there are a lot of people who have studied people who were dying, especially those who worked in hospices like aged people's homes and all those. And they were able to see people who were dying or who were, invalids and all those. And they say that people regret just few things when they are dying. And one of the things they regret is not giving enough time to their families. Okay, that's one of the things they regret. So I comfortably understand what you said, and I sincerely appreciate it. Yeah. So now the major thing is there are few things you must know if you was make wealth, and these 5 things I'm going to mention, you must have them, all of them. You must have all these 5 things I'm going to mention. You must have them at the same time. You must have them at the same time. Not that you have these 2 and you don't have the other 2. So number 1 is what we call health and wellness. Health and wellness has to do with your ability to be healthy in your body and well in your psyche. It involves quite a lot, but this is not a wellness class, so I may have I may not try to go deeper. But you see, there are few things to check when you look at your health. Number 1 is to look at the food you eat. Yes. Number 2 is to look at your relaxation, and number 3 is to look at your exercises, apart from your medicals and your socials. So make sure that you exercise, not vigorous. Raising your hand 20 times over your head and bringing it down is enough exercise that will give you capacity to breathe well, and then your heart will pump enough. Walking around your parlor for making up to 500 or 1,000 steps, counting them, will give you the right kind of pumping in your heart and all those. So that's number 1, health and wellness. Number 2 is what we call love and relationship. You see, in our trying to make money, we neglect love and relationship. We are not there when our children are growing, especially we, the men. We are not there. We are running around making money for them. But we don't understand that money is nothing. Money, it doesn't count for our kids much. Yeah, why you take care of them, but they also want your presence. Now, some people who are working like government work, they go out in the morning, great business people. They go out in the morning, come back late in the evening. Great lawyers, they travel from hotel to hotel, country to country, city to city. And then, one day, your body is no more carrying. You come back to that same family and you want them now to leave everything and start running kitty kata for you, start staying with you from morning till night. They have already shaped their lives before you fell sick, before you came back. So their lives are already shaped. They know, they have their friends, they have their what they do and all those. So that is why in everything we do, apart from health and wellness, we must understand love and relationship. And I tell you for free, people like Elon Musk, why you see him most time is so personal about this issue of Democrats and gay and all those. Why he's personal about that is that he's a beneficiary of it, or rather, he has benefited from the bad side of it. You know, his son, when he got to 18 years, the first thing he did was to go and change his name from Musk to Smith. And then the next thing he did was to turn his name from from his name to Vivian, and say he's now a woman and all those. Yeah, Musk has made a little of money. But you see, there are issues around, understanding how to make sure that the family side is well done. And now it sounds archaic, it sounds old, it sounds like what are you saying? But you see, you get old, yeah, and all those things will come back. Okay, so having said that, then third one is your spirituality. Whatever it is you believe in, whatever it is you believe in. I don't know where the noise is coming from. So you must understand how to walk around that your spirituality. What if it is the Bible you believe in? Read it, finish it at least twice every year. If it is the Quran you believe in, finish it at least twice every year. Is the Bhagavad Gita, it is the whatever it is, finish that book of knowledge of that religion at least twice every year, so that you can at least understand this thing you believe in. What are the deepest part of it? This book of knowledge regarding this, you can understand it at like the back of your fingers, and then you are able to practice it. Then remember, love is, even every religion, love is so important. But you see, most times we practice this our religion without understanding love. So you must understand spirituality. Do to others as you want them to do to you. Love everybody as you love yourself. Be able to, all those, they are timeless. You have to be rich in your spirituality. The fourth one is you have to be rich in your passion, your vocation, and your profession. You have to be rich in them. Your vocation is that thing that you feel called to do, that thing you are doing. And you can already see that I was able to turn my vocation and my passion into a business. If you allow me, I can talk from, I've not eaten this morning. I've not even drank water. But you see, I can talk till thy kingdom come, because whenever I am doing this talking thing, I forget, I don't know what time it is. Okay. I don't actually remember what time it is. So that's the power of understanding your vocation. Whenever you understand it, and then you are able to do it, yeah, and you can do it into your old age. You may be a lawyer, but you love mentoring people. You may be a lawyer, you love ministry. You may be a lawyer, you love farming, building things with your hand. You may be a lawyer, you love teaching kids. You may be a lawyer, you love helping, you love just helping, you love helping people. You don't just love helping. Yeah, that becomes so you must understand your profession, which is maybe your law practice. You must understand, you must be wealthy in your profession, you must be wealthy in your vocation, you must be wealthy in your passion. That thing you can do, and you don't understand that time is passing. When you look at your time, I spent 3 hours, that is your passion. Then turn it into a business, turn it in, make it your vocation, and all those kind of things. So you must be wealthy in that. Then finally, you must be wealthy in your time and money freedom. That was why I was telling Auntie is this Uchechi or Chinwe? I was telling her about whenever you are no more comfortable with a particular place you are working or particular thing you are doing, leave it. I left university 2 years to full professor. You could stay. The money I make in a week now could be my 20-year salary in the university. Sometime more, sometime a little less. The point is that because I'm still teaching, I'm president of a business school, but I teach what I want to teach now. Not so I don't mark scripts now. I hate marking scripts. I've been a best student all my life, but I don't like marking scripts. I like marking people. I want people to do their mistake, learn from it, and convert themselves and all that. But when you mark them, I feel somehow marking people. Yeah, because somebody who may not write well may be intelligent in another thing, maybe in sports. Also, when I mark him based on the fact that he didn't write good English or he didn't get my question right or whatever, I feel terrible. So over time, I wasn't interested and I left. Okay, so your ability to understand that even as you make the money, you need time. Yes, and then you need the money, so that because you have good health and wellness, you have love and relationship, your spirituality and your profession, your vocation and your passion, that doesn't exonerate you from being wealthy in your money making, your finance, and being wealthy in your time. Having time, if I decide not to come here this morning, nobody will flog me. If I decide to come, nobody will flog me. If I decide I don't want to work again, I have workers who work and all those. Yeah. But you see, if you keep me somewhere and lock me up and I don't teach for 3 months, I may have a very serious illness because, that's the way I'm built. That's the way I love, expressing myself. So, sir, Theophilus, having said that, the truth is that if anybody wants to be happy in life, you must be wealthy in these 5 things at the same time. Not you are wealthy in one and you're not wealthy in the other. And I repeat them as I conclude. Number 1, you must be wealthy in your health and wellness, because when you lose your health, no other thing matters. Number 2, you must be healthy in your love and relationship. Love is everything. Love is so beautiful. Yes, love your family, love your people, love people around you, love your workers, love your clients, love. Yeah, that doesn't mean you take nonsense, okay? Even people like, what do you call him? Peter, that Jesus loved so much. Yeah, he called him Satan, get behind me, when he was doing the wrong thing. So you have to understand that. Number 3, spirituality. You must be wealthy in your spirituality, whatever that means to you. Number 4, you must be wealthy in your profession, your vocation, and your passion. And number 5, you must be wealthy in your time and money freedom. Yes, and that's why I encourage you, come tomorrow and take that program so that you are going to start automating what you do and then start having time for yourself even the more while your business is running. Yes, I want to appreciate you guys for listening in. Thank you very much, and God bless you. See you in class tomorrow, and then we hope to see more of you. Okay, I think Deborah, do you want to say something? Chema, do you want to say something because I'm about closing now?
Good morning, sir. Good morning.
Yes, sir.
Good morning.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
This is man. Sorry, I was trying to log in, but on mute, but I had network issues.
Oh, okay. I was wondering. Okay, so how are you, sir?
To appreciate much. I've been so blessed this morning listening to you and other people that said 1 or 2 things. In fact, this is about the best I've had, so far. And thank you for your time. Thank you for your humility. Thank you for your approach. Thank you for the way you said, said complex things, but you made it so simple for us to understand. I would love to follow you, and I call you a coach. You're a good coach. You're a very good coach and a good mentor.
Thank you.
I'm interested in virtual office. How can one go about having a virtual law office and all of that? I don't know. I'm really interested in setting up a virtual law practice or law office. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you very much. So it's one of the courses on our book here. I hope you could go to CPD training for lawyers.online/courses. We are going to see the course there. What we do in that course is that we disambiguate your practice into how it matters for you, looking at your level of IT knowledge and looking at all the tools that will fit what you are doing, whether you have a physical office first, whether you are operating in different jurisdictions. You have office in London and US, and then you have in Abuja and Lagos, and then maybe you are in Owerri or Port Harcourt. How do you all integrate all of this? So we're going to look at all the CRM, like customer relationship management and ERPs, enterprise tools that you can use and how to automate them, from the customers to your workers, to how you make sure that there's performance management system. All those are the things we look at in establishing that, so that they're all integrated into one, and then you can easily also check your back end and you are able to do all that. If you look at your law practice, if you sit down and work on the business, you can divide them into the one that is about going to court, the one that is about collecting your money, the one that is about getting clients, the one that is about taking brief, the one that is about putting yourself out there, the one that is maintaining relationships, the one that is about making sure that those who are owing paid, the one that is about keeping tab with the clients, the one that is about maintaining a relationship with your staff members, and the one that is about performance management, making sure that they do their work. These are all the different aspects that we plug into the system, and then the system becomes something that you can handle, and in a simple way. So that's what the training does for you. So look at that, and then it's among the CPD programs that you can do for, and you have the points. I know that by this time of the year, almost every one of you has gotten his or her point. We're a little new to the program, so we are making sure that we offer value, and as we get to when you want to renew, that will be your option. But just check that website, cpdtrainingforlawyers.online/courses, and then you'll see the programs. But you can also reach us 090-555-99925. If you get there and you want my personal number, my workers will also give you my personal number so that you can talk to me directly as Dr. Kali. And I like you already. I love the name Echeme, and then we can be friends. Thank you so much for your kind words. I sincerely appreciate you. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for being here today with me. I want to appreciate you, and I want to keep being your friend. I'm looking forward to seeing you in our subsequent courses, including tomorrow's course. God bless you, and tell your friends about us. In the next 1 hour, this program will be automatically sent to your email as an automated message. So if you, after 1 hour, that is in the next 1 hour, if you don't see it, you can check your spam and check your updates, and all those other places it will be there. But if you also don't see it, you can also message us 090-555-99925. We can send it directly to you, but it's automated to message to you. I thank you for coming. See you soon, and let's keep in touch. God bless you. Bye-bye.
Hello, Kali.
Yes. Oh, yes, ma'am.
Sorry, I wanted to know if will be issued a certificate for participation.
For this program, no. Our free programs don't have a CPD point. Yes, it doesn't have CPD, but we can send you certificates on but it's not CPD points.
Okay.
So generally, we don't issue certificates for them. It's just our free programs.
All right.
Thank you. Okay. God bless you. Okay. So bye-bye, guys. Thank you. See you soon. Oh, somebody said you didn't let me talk. Linda. Shit. And Linda, the only voice I wanted to hear was yours. So sorry, ma'am. So sorry. I didn't see your hand. Chai. Thank you, Auntie Rita. God bless you. I appreciate it. Kai, Linda, sorry about that, please. I just really wanted to hear your voice, but I didn't see that you were raising your hands. Sorry about it. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.